5 reasons why standing out in a crowd of vanilla. Now, we've just delivered a new tool to you, the forecast, the order winners, order qualifiers, forecasted winners, that whole concept. How do you put it into play? Or how do you know that you don't have it? We're going to do a small little exercise here, the same one that I do with conferences all over the world when I need to make a point. I don't do it all the time, but I need to make a point. So here is a perfect time to make a point. What I'd like you to do, and you'd have to turn off the video to do this, is I'm going to give you 2 minutes to write down the 5 reasons why someone should do business with you. 5 reasons why. Now you stop the camera, then you'll come back, and then I'm just going to continue on with the next part of this. So we'll stop for right now. Okay, you've got it. You've got your list. Now I'm going to share with you what has happened, because I can't actually talk to you right now to find out what you wrote, but you're going to hear or see or feel exactly what I'm talking about. I go to these conferences and we're talking about sometimes differentiation. People want to stand out in their industry. They want to be able to be stronger as a competitor. Doesn't matter, profit, nonprofit, government, military, or education. Some way, shape, or form, somebody's trying to compete. I would then ask them to turn to the person next to them, and in 2 minutes, they have to share the 5 reasons why someone should do business with them or join their organization or participate in whatever we're talking about. And then that person has to take the notes as to what the person said. That's how you get the notes down. The other person, then you have to switch. They give you or give that other person the information, and they write it down. Once we're done with this exercise, because I believe 4 minutes is plenty of time, once we're done with this exercise, I ask for a volunteer in the audience. I say, was anybody willing to share their list? And there's always someone who's proud of their list. And I say, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to take the list from the other person. I'd like you to read it as they're getting it to you, as long as it's close enough. They're pretty close. And you'll have someone stand up. And I'll say, everybody in the audience, I want you to close your eyes and listen to what the person says. So this person says, we have great employees. We are exceptional service. We've been around for 60 years. On and on and on. There's the 5, and then I can have someone else do it. And I say to them, now for everybody in the audience, how many of you, when they were repeating those comments, said, that could be anybody in this room? I mean, the number of years doesn't make a difference, but it could be anybody in the room. Great quality, great service. What person, what company, what organization, what team says, oh, we're horrible, and we have poor service, and that's the reason people do business with us? Now, what I've just done is, in essence, forced you to start to look at your order winners. See, being able to offer the service is the qualifier. Being able to have employees is the qualifier. But the difference is you didn't stand out in a world of vanilla. Everybody sounded the same. Now imagine if you were to came back and said something to the effect of this. Our organization has our scientists have generated 465 patents in the past 7 years. And yours is, we generate great products. Who would you rather work for? Who would you rather buy from? Who would you rather participate with? What if I was to say that we have an instantaneous financial reporting system that within 1 hour after the month end, no matter where you are in the world, you can get your financial reporting numbers? What if I was to tell you that our service delivery uptime is 99.999%? Well, you might say, in some cases, well, I expect that. But in others, when the industry's at 70 or 60, you stand out. Now, how do you change, or how do you start to create order winners? How do you start to say, what are the 5 reasons why? Well, first of all, let's begin with this concept. As a leader, the fact that I'm asking you the question you don't have the answers means you haven't even thought about it. You've thought about it, but you've never said, what are the reasons someone will buy from me? And that shift will get you to start thinking completely differently than you did before. You have a fiduciary responsibility. Fiduciary means an obligation to create an understanding of why your company, organization, business, membership, association, military organization, educational institution wins. You have fiduciary responsibility to have that. So if you don't, that's a starting point. So let me give you these 4 quick tips. The first one is, if you didn't have them, go back, spend some time, and find them. You already are generating revenue. You're already generating customers. You're already getting new employees. You're already securing new types of technologies. Well, go back and identify them. I remember working with this one executive, and we were talking about his CV, his resume, and it was, he said to me, I develop products, that's what I do. I said, oh my God, that's not an order winner for a CV or a resume. I said, give me a number, like how many products have you worked on? And he thinks, he puts his head down, he thinks, and he says, I think in my career I've developed over, not just participated, but managed the development of 4,000 products. Now, if you were going to be hiring somebody and the person says, well, I've developed products over the years and I've developed 10, and this guy walks in and says, well, over the course of my career, I've developed over 4,000 products with close to $14 billion, whatever number it is, US dollars in revenue, you'd definitely be standing out amongst the crowd. So start looking at where you really have them, and don't fall in love with your first ones. Believe that you need to find them. You have them because you are winning. The second is you might have to expand on an idea that you have within your organization and start to say, well, how can we modify this, make it an order winner? How can we add, change, improve what we've got to dimensionalize this product or service? The next one is a little bit more challenging. It's called wordsmithing. And I'll use this and repeat what wordsmithing is multiple times. But wordsmithing is this, is taking a sentence or a phrase and changing it so that someone can grab onto it a little bit better or it bites. It's advertisers do this, copywriters do this. It would be if I was to say, my product is good versus my product is great. You'd say, well, great differentiates from good. What if I was to say, would you rather be pulled by a magnet or pushed by a magnet? Pull and push give an emotional reaction. So you're going to have to take what you think is a great sentence and transform it into something that has value to the reader, the listener, because maybe this is verbally said. Your salespeople can use this. Your team could use this in so many different ways. And then the last one, number 4, is you might actually have to create order winners that really stand out because you may be vanilla. Now, I live in New York and Hong Kong. I have 2 different homes and 2 different places. And when I'm in Hong Kong, I live on this place called Reclamation Street. You might have seen it in a video. Reclamation Street is a place where it's like living in Home Depot for me. And trust me, I love living in Home Depot. I could probably set up a bed there. Well, I walk down and everywhere you go, there's a sheetrock store, there's a nuts and bolts store, there's a tile store. But they're like 5 stores from each other and they're selling almost the same product half the time. There's so much vanilla that it's unbelievable that they don't have differentiated products and services. So they try to do it, I guess, with a friendly smile, and that's just not enough. Now, I'll even add that those are the 4 ways, but you have to even be more careful in certain types of phraseologies or conditions you believe are valuable. When you say to the group or people, you write down, we have quality people. Does that mean other people's employees or staff are horrible? Or that we've been around for a long time? Those are just, they're blah. They don't mean anything to anybody. And I can guarantee you, if you look down on a piece of paper, you wrote quality people or quality this or great. Those are words that are undifferentiated. You need to get specific, you need to get detailed. You need to show me something that when someone hears it in whatever you do, they say, huh. See, I might say to somebody, depending on the industry, the condition, I might say, I will sign non-compete and exclusivity if you're willing to pay for it, obviously. There's certain conditions that would have to go into that. Everybody has a set that you can deliver. And I'm going to give you a tip that's not in the book right now is you can actually have verticals or horizontal different conditions. So for example, let's say you sell, market a service, one vertical, the aerospace industry. But you also do the automotive industry and you also do the pharma industry. Each one of those might have 5 reasons why, because they're different customers each buying. And I love to go to a website or see marketing material. It's almost as if everybody's the same. So if you make these shifts, you'll see that we've been talking about order qualifiers, converting them to order winners, and becoming more aware of the condition that you have in your organization. This mind shift will be huge, and it can be easily taught to your staff, your team, to the people you work with. With that said, let's move on.